There is something invisible that's been affecting your life from the very beginning. You may not have known what it was, but you felt it. Think about the times you walked into a room and something just felt different, even before anyone said a word. Or the people you've met who made you feel tired without doing anything, and others who gave off a sense of warmth or calmness just by being near. Those experiences weren't accidents. They weren't just in your head. What you were sensing was energy. Energy isn't just something inside of you. It's all around you. It influences your mood, your thoughts, your actions, and even the people you're drawn to or repelled by. It connects you to the world and everyone in it. But the truth is, no one ever taught you how to notice it, use it, or understand it. That's the real problem. For a long time, the idea of energy has been ignored, laughed at, or kept secret. The few who understood it were able to use it for power. The rest of us were left unaware, affected by forces we couldn't even see. Now, that's changing. You are about to learn how to work with this energy. And once you do, it can change everything. How you think, how you feel, and how you live. You've always had the ability to feel energy, but without guidance, you may not have known what to do with it. This energy can be seen in small things, like when you get a strange feeling about someone you just met, or when your mood changes based on where you are. You've likely felt an unexplained heaviness in some places, or a sudden burst of peace while standing in nature. These are not random. They are real. They are signs that your body is picking up on the energy around you. Many ancient cultures knew about this long ago. In India, spiritual teachers understood energy through practices like yoga and meditation. In South America, shamans worked with nature's energy for healing and wisdom. They believed that people are more than just skin and bones. We are made of energy too. Our bodies, thoughts, and emotions all interact with the energy around us. But over time, society has told us to stop trusting those inner feelings. We've been taught to rely only on logic and physical proof, and to ignore things we can't easily measure or explain. This has caused many people to shut down a natural part of themselves. Why would we be taught to ignore something so important? Because someone who understands and controls their energy is stronger. They think clearly, act with purpose, and can't be easily controlled. On the other hand, someone who doesn't understand energy can be influenced without even realizing it. That's why learning to work with energy is so powerful. It helps you take back control over your life. This isn't just about how you feel emotionally. Energy also affects your body. Have you ever felt your shoulders tense up when talking to a certain person? Or your stomach twist when you're in a place that doesn't feel right? That's not just stress or worry. It's your body reacting to energy before your mind has time to figure it out. Your nervous system is always picking up signals, even if you're not aware of them. The problem is, most of us were never taught how to understand these signals, so we end up ignoring them. Science is now starting to catch up with what ancient traditions already knew. For example, your heart creates an electromagnetic field that can be measured several feet away from your body. Your brain uses electrical signals to think and communicate. Scientists are even discovering that our thoughts and emotions can affect physical reality through something called quantum physics. Some studies suggest that intention, the energy behind what we think and feel, can influence the outcome of events. If this is true, and science supports it, why don't we talk about it more? Because energy awareness gives you power. And when you have that power, you stop following the rules that were meant to keep you in line. You become harder to manipulate. You begin to live life with intention, not just habit. Most people will never realize how much energy affects their lives. Not because it's too hard to understand, but because they've been trained not to believe in it. From childhood, we've been told what's real and what's not. We've been taught that only the things we can see or measure matter. As a result, Many people learn to doubt their own feelings and ignore their own instincts. But what if those ignored feelings are the key to understanding who we really are? That doubt you feel when you hear ideas like this, that immediate feeling of disbelief, it's not always your own. Often it was planted there by society before you were old enough to question it. Children haven't yet learned to ignore their senses. A child will say, "That person feels bad," even if they don't know why. They trust what they feel. But over time, we're told not to trust our feelings, to stop using our senses in that way, and to fit in instead. That's how most of us lose touch with our ability to feel energy. Not because it wasn't real, but because we were told to stop looking. The truth is, feeling and using energy is not some magical gift. It's a skill. Like any skill, it can be learned and developed. But you can't get better at something if you don't believe it's real. That's why the first step is not about learning new techniques. It's about letting go of the ideas that have held you back. It's about realizing that your mind is not just a barrier, it's also the key. When you start to believe in your ability to feel and use energy, that belief unlocks something powerful inside you. When you cross that line, your whole experience of life changes. You stop just thinking about energy, you start feeling it, moving it, using it. It becomes real, not just a concept. And one of the simplest, most powerful ways to start connecting with this energy is through something you've been doing your whole life: breathing. Breathing keeps you alive. But most of us don't breathe in a healthy way. We take short, shallow breaths, especially when we're stressed or anxious. Over time, this becomes a habit. You may not even notice it, but your body does. Shallow breathing sends a message to your body that you're in danger, which keeps you in a constant state of stress. That stress blocks energy from flowing freely through you. If you want to reconnect with your energy, start by changing the way you breathe. Watch a baby sleeping, how their belly rises and falls slowly and deeply. That's how we're meant to breathe. That's the kind of breathing that calms the body, clears the mind, and lets energy move freely. The way you breathe affects your entire system. It affects your heart, your brain, your mood, and your energy field. When you start breathing deeply and mindfully, you begin to quiet the noise in your mind. You begin to feel what's really happening inside you and around you. And you begin to access something that's always been there, waiting for you to notice it. The truth is, you've always been surrounded by energy. You've always been part of it. Every moment of your life, your body and mind have been feeling it, responding to it, and shaping it. The only thing that's been missing is awareness. Now that you're aware, you can begin to practice. You can begin to feel more. Breathe more deeply. Trust yourself more. The more you practice, the stronger your connection becomes. The more you believe in your own power, the more that power grows. And soon, the energy that once shaped you from the outside begins to respond to you instead. You're not just a passenger in life anymore. You become the driver. There's nothing mystical about it. It's not about superstition or belief in something magical. It's about tuning into something natural, something real, something you've always had access to. The journey starts with awareness. It deepens with trust, and it grows with practice. You don't need special tools. You don't need to be perfect. All you need is a willingness to feel, to notice, and to believe in what your body and mind have been telling you all along. You are energy. You are connected to everything. And now you have the choice to begin using that truth to live a more powerful, peaceful, and purposeful life. It's not a coincidence that slow, deep breathing is at the heart of almost every ancient energy practice. Whether it's yoga, martial arts, or breathwork from different traditions, the way you breathe plays a big role in how you feel and how your energy flows. Right now, the way you breathe can decide whether you feel awake or tired, clear-headed or confused, disconnected or emotionally shut down. Everything is linked to your breath. Science supports this too. Research shows that how you breathe affects your brain. It changes how you feel, how clearly you think, and how well you can focus. But what people don't often talk about is how breathing controls the movement of energy inside your body. Think about the last time you were scared. Your breathing probably got quick and shallow, your muscles got tight, and you felt nervous or uneasy. This wasn't just your body reacting, your energy was also affected. Fear causes your body and energy to close up, making you feel weaker. Now think of a peaceful moment. Maybe you were in nature or just resting. Your breath was slower, deeper, and smooth. Your body relaxed. You felt calm and open. Your energy was flowing freely. This shows how your breathing changes your energy and how you experience life. In today's world, most people live with constant stress. We're always in a hurry, looking at screens, juggling tasks, and worrying about what's next. This creates fast, shallow breathing, which slowly weakens the natural flow of energy in the body. Imagine your energy is like a river. Breath is the force that keeps the water moving. If the breath is weak or stuck, the river becomes still and everything gets blocked, including your ability to think clearly, feel deeply, or make strong decisions. That's why breathwork is so powerful. It's not just about calming down, it's about waking up. It helps clear your mind, release heavy emotions, and return to a balanced state quickly. But there's more. Breath doesn't just affect energy, it guides it. Once you begin breathing with awareness, you start to notice feelings and sensations in your body that weren't clear before. At first, it's very light, maybe a tingle or warmth. But over time, it becomes very real. You can feel your energy moving. And once you feel it, you can learn to control it. Most people live by reacting. They get pushed around by stress, other people's emotions, and outside problems. But when you learn to use your breath, you start to take charge of your own energy. And when you control your energy, you begin to shape your life instead of just going through the motions. This is where the real journey begins. You stop just thinking about energy and start experiencing it directly. You start to realize something very important. Your body was built for this. You were never supposed to feel disconnected or powerless. You've just never been taught to breathe the right way. Your body is more than bones and muscles. It's a complex system that includes many energy pathways. These are like invisible roads that carry life force or energy through every part of your body. This idea isn't just spiritual, it's been mapped out in ancient systems and is now being studied in modern science too. Cultures all over the world have talked about this for thousands of years. In yoga, they talk about nadis. In Chinese medicine, they're called meridians. Some call it bioelectric energy. Whatever the name, the message is the same. When energy moves freely, you feel good, strong, clear, and healthy. When energy is blocked, you feel low, tired, confused, sad, or even physically sick. You've probably felt this without realizing it. That tight feeling in your chest when you hold back tears. The heavy feeling in your stomach when something is wrong. The spark or chill down your spine when something powerful happens. These aren't just feelings. They're signs from your energy system. They're there to help you understand what's going on inside you. But no one ever taught us how to read them. Instead, we're told to ignore these signs, to be logical, or to push through discomfort without paying attention to what our body is saying. Over time, these ignored signals turn into blocked energy. The pathways that once carried energy smoothly start to slow down or shut off completely. One part of the energy system that many people have heard of is the chakra. These are not just symbols or spiritual ideas. They are real places in the body where energy gathers. Each chakra has a job. One helps you feel grounded and safe. Another supports your ability to speak and express yourself. Another connects you to your higher thinking or sense of purpose. When these energy centers are blocked, you feel the effects in your life. For example, if your root chakra, located at the base of your spine, is off balance, you might feel anxious or unstable. If your throat chakra is blocked, you might have trouble saying what you really feel or fear being misunderstood. When the crown chakra, at the top of your head, is closed, you might feel lost or cut off from something bigger, like purpose or meaning. But chakras are just one part of the energy map. Energy flows through specific pathways, like roads connecting cities. These paths are known as nadis in yoga, meridians in Chinese medicine, and are even being studied now in modern science as electrical circuits in the body. The main path in the yogic system is called Sushumna. It runs up the spine and is said to be the road to spiritual awakening. Alongside it are two others, Ida and Pingala. One represents calmness and intuition, the other action and logic. Every thought you have, every emotion you feel, and every breath you take affects how energy moves through these pathways. That's why practices like yoga, Tai Chi, and acupuncture work so well. They're not just about stretching or poking needles into the body. They are carefully designed tools to help energy move again. When you stretch in certain ways or breathe deeply, you're not just relaxing, you're clearing the blocks. And when energy starts flowing again, you feel lighter, clearer, and more yourself. Decisions come easier. Emotions don't overwhelm you. You feel connected, not just to yourself, but to the world around you. What many people don't realize is that this energy work doesn't just change how you feel on the inside. It also changes how others feel around you. You've probably noticed this. Some people seem to light up a room. They give off a calm, strong, or inspiring feeling without even saying a word. That's energy. Their system is open and flowing, and others can sense it. On the other hand, there are people who drain you. Even if they're being polite, their energy feels heavy or tense. This isn't just your imagination, it's real energy exchange. The more you become aware of energy within yourself, the more you start to notice it everywhere, in people, in places, in conversations. And the more you pay attention, the more you realize that energy isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you can control. You can build it, protect it, and share it wisely. The question is, will you? Because the moment you decide to take control of your breath, you also begin to shape your energy. And when you shape your energy, you start to shape your life. Energy isn't passive. It responds to your choices. It listens to your thoughts, your emotions, your movements. Once you understand this, everything changes. Feeling your energy is only the beginning. Learning to move it on purpose, to direct it toward growth, healing, creativity, or love, that's where your real power begins. Most people move through life without ever realizing the energetic world around them. They take on the emotions of others without knowing it. They walk into a room and feel heavy without understanding why. They leave a conversation feeling tired even when nothing bad was said. This is all energy. It's always moving, always transferring, whether you notice it or not. The people who thrive in life, who feel balanced, strong, and focused, aren't just lucky. They're aware. They've learned how to manage their own energy. They don't give it away freely or absorb negativity without a filter. They move through life with intention. They protect their space. And most importantly, they use their breath as a tool to stay alive. You already have this power. You've just never been shown how to use it. Your thoughts, your feelings, your breath, they're all part of the same system. And that system is waiting for you to take the lead. The moment you do, everything begins to shift. You stop reacting. You start creating. You stop surviving. You start living with purpose. All it takes is your awareness and one deep, intentional breath. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly felt uncomfortable, even though no one said anything? Or met someone so excited that you couldn't help but feel happier just being around them? That's energy in action. It's the invisible feeling that passes between people, the atmosphere that shifts when someone walks in. Most of the time, people don't realize it's happening. They simply respond to it without thinking. Instead of taking control of the energy around them, they let it control them. We often let outside energy affect our inner world. If someone's angry or stressed, we absorb that and feel uneasy. If someone's joyful, we might feel a lift. But when we don't manage our own energy, we end up feeling tired, unbalanced, or overwhelmed. It's like walking through life as a sponge, soaking up everything around us, good or bad. This isn't because we're weak or broken. It's simply because we haven't learned how to manage and direct our own energy. But what if it didn't have to be that way? Imagine being able to walk into any situation and stay calm, centered, and in control. What if you could notice negative energy and shift it before it affects you? What if, instead of being influenced by others all the time, you could influence the room with your own calm, strong energy? That's when you start to master your energy, not just survive in the world, but truly shape how you experience it. Energy flows where your attention goes. Think of it like a flashlight. When your attention is scattered, your energy is weak. But when it's focused, it's powerful, like a laser beam. You may have had moments like this before. Maybe you were so focused on a task that everything else faded away. Maybe you felt unstoppable, like you just knew something was going to work out. Or you entered a situation feeling completely grounded and nothing could throw you off. Those weren't random. They were moments when your energy was aligned with your intention. The good news is, this state isn't something you have to wait for. You can learn to create it anytime. You can train yourself to hold your energy no matter what's happening around you. And when you do, something amazing happens. People notice. They might not understand why, but they feel something different about you. You carry a presence, a strength that changes how you move through the world. For a long time, people thought energy talk was just spiritual or mystical. But now, science is catching up. It turns out, your body is an electrical system. Your heart sends out an energy field that can be measured several feet away. Your brain gives off waves that scientists can track. These aren't just theories, they're facts. Research from places like the HeartMath Institute has shown that your heart's energy changes based on how you feel. And this energy doesn't just affect you, it influences the people around you. That explains why being around some people makes you feel calm and safe, while others leave you feeling drained. It's not just how they talk or act, it's the energy they carry. It's happening whether you realize it or not, often below your conscious awareness. Quantum physics supports this too. On the smallest level, everything is moving, vibrating. And when something is observed, it actually changes. That's wild, but it's true. It means that your attention, your awareness, has power. Your thoughts and emotions aren't just inside your head. They shape your world in ways we're only beginning to understand. So your mind isn't just something that reacts to the world. It's a tool that helps create it. That's where science and spirituality come together. Ancient teachings and modern research are pointing to the same thing. Energy is real, and your consciousness, your awareness, affects reality. You've probably never been told just how powerful your mind and body really are. But now that you know, the real question is, what will you do with that knowledge? It's one thing to feel energy. It's another to learn how to direct it. But the real power comes when you can change it, turn low, heavy energy into something stronger. That's called transmutation. It means taking energy that might feel negative, stress, fear, frustration and turning it into something useful like focus, strength, or peace. Most people never learn this. They might start to manage their energy, but when life gets hard, they slip back into old habits. But those who really learn to transmute energy become much harder to shake. They're not immune to problems, but their inner world stays steady even when things outside are chaotic. Every person you meet, every place you go, holds energy. Some of it feels light and uplifting. Some of it feels heavy and draining. But energy itself isn't good or bad. It's neutral. It's just raw power waiting to be used. What we call bad vibes or negative energy is often just energy in a lower form. It feels dense or stuck because it hasn't been processed or shifted. But you don't have to run from it. You don't have to let it control you. You can learn to work with it. Raise it. Change it. That's what ancient alchemy was really about. Not turning metals into gold, but turning low emotions into higher states of being. Think back to a tough time in your life. You had two choices: let it defeat you or use it to grow. That's the same principle. When you're in a difficult situation, you can either absorb the tension or you can bring your own energy to shift the space. When fear, anxiety, or anger show up, you don't have to lose control. You can use those feelings as fuel to become more clear, more strong, more present. This is the difference between being a victim of energy and being its master. Because once you realize that nothing is fixed, that energy is always moving, always changing, you start to see your own power. You are not just reacting to the world, you're shaping it every moment. So when you walk into a tense room, you don't have to match that tension. You can bring calm. You can become the grounding force. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room to be the most powerful one. True power is quiet, focused, steady. It doesn't waver. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. It starts with self-awareness, just noticing how you feel and what energy you're picking up. Then it grows into self-direction, choosing how you want to feel and holding that state. Over time, it becomes transmutation, taking whatever energy comes your way and transforming it into something useful, something higher. This is what mastery looks like. Not perfection, not always feeling great, but having the tools to stay grounded, clear, and strong no matter what's happening. In a world full of noise, distraction, and pressure, this is a rare and powerful thing. Most people are just trying to keep up. But when you manage your energy, you don't have to keep up, you lead. You move with purpose. You affect others just by being yourself. This doesn't mean you'll never have bad days. It means those days won't control you. You'll feel your emotions, but you won't be ruled by them. You'll still face challenges, but you'll face them with strength and clarity. And people will feel it. They may not understand it. They may not know why they're drawn to you or why they feel calmer around you, but they'll sense it. Because energy doesn't lie. It speaks louder than words. This is the beginning of something bigger. It's not just about being calm or positive. It's about stepping into your full power, living with intention, showing up fully, and influencing the world around you, not by force, but by presence. Because when you truly own your energy, you don't just live in the world, you change it. There are some people in the world who go through pain and come out stronger. They don't break when life gets hard, they rise. When they are surrounded by negativity, they don't get pulled into it. It's not because they are cold or emotionless. It's because they've discovered something powerful. Nothing has control over your emotions, your peace, or your energy unless you allow it to. That's the secret. And once you understand this, your whole life starts to shift. This idea isn't just about protecting yourself from the world. It's about changing yourself in a way that helps change everything around you. When you learn to calm and strengthen your own energy, it doesn't just help you feel better, it actually affects other people. They feel your calm. They sense your clarity. They may not know what changed, but something about you draws them in. This is because energy doesn't need to be explained. It doesn't rely on words or logic. It's something people feel deep down, whether they realize it or not. When you know how to manage your energy, you stop letting life push you around. You become someone who shapes your life on purpose. Every step you take, every choice you make, every breath you take becomes more intentional. And because energy is real and powerful, those choices begin to change your surroundings too. But here's something most people don't realize. The world is set up to drain your energy. It's not a mistake. The stress, the constant notifications, the processed food, the fear in the news, the endless scrolling on social media, it's all part of a system that keeps you tired and distracted. When you're always worn out or overwhelmed, it becomes hard to think clearly or make strong decisions. You just go through the motions, trying to get through each day. Over time, you forget what it feels like to be fully alive. Think about how your day starts. For most people, the first thing they do is reach for their phone. Right away, they're hit with messages, emails, news, and social media. Before they even get out of bed, their mind is already full of noise. Then they grab a cup of coffee to force their body awake. They might eat something quick and processed, not because it's healthy, but because it's easy. And just like that, their energy is already off balance, and the day has barely begun. This pattern repeats itself over and over. More caffeine, more screens, more rushing, more junk food, and in the background, a steady stream of negative messages from the world. People around you talk about how tired they are, how stressed, how burned out. It becomes normal to feel this way. It becomes the standard. But this is not how life is supposed to be. You are not meant to live in a state of low energy. Your natural state is full of life, full of focus, full of strength. The only reason it doesn't feel that way is because you've been trained to accept something less. And the longer you stay in that low energy state, the more it feels like there's no way out. But there is. The first step to getting your energy back is to see this cycle for what it is. It's a system that benefits from keeping you weak. The more tired and distracted you are, the easier it is to sell you things. The easier it is to keep you from questioning. The easier it is to keep you small. Once you see this clearly, you can start making new choices. You begin noticing how certain foods make you feel heavy and sluggish, while others make you feel light and alert. You notice the difference between wasting time online and doing something that actually inspires or teaches you. You realize that your exhaustion often comes not from working too much, but from not doing enough of what truly matters to you. As soon as you start making changes, even small ones, your energy shifts. And when that happens, your entire life begins to shift with it. You start to understand how much of your life has been controlled by things outside of you, your habits, your surroundings, your influences. But now, you're starting to take that power back. When you stop feeding the habits and systems that drain your energy, and instead focus on what lifts you up, everything begins to transform. Your body responds. Your mind clears. Your emotions become easier to understand. And something even more powerful happens. People around you notice. They might not be able to explain what's different, but they feel it. They start to respond to your new energy. This is not imagination. It's real. Energy is real. Every thought you have, every feeling you experience, every action you take, all of it sends out energy. And that energy shapes your reality. When you're aligned, things start to flow more easily. You meet the right people. The right opportunities show up. Problems that seemed big before now seem manageable. You're not lucky. You're aligned. That's the difference. Once you know this, it's hard to go back to the way things were. You felt the shift. You've tasted what it feels like to be fully present and powerful. Now you have a choice. You can ignore it and fall back into old routines. You can let stress, distraction, and fear take control again. Or you can keep going forward. You can keep choosing the foods, the thoughts, the habits, and the people who give you energy instead of taking it. It's not always easy. The world will keep trying to pull you back into its old ways. But now you have awareness, and that gives you the power to decide. Each time you choose to protect your energy and use it wisely, you become stronger. You become more grounded, more focused, more intentional. And with that, something else begins to happen. Your intuition gets sharper. You start noticing patterns and signs. Things start to connect in ways you never noticed before. You start to see that life isn't random, it's responding to you. Your thoughts, your energy, your actions, they are creating the world you experience. Most people will never understand this. They'll live their lives in loops of exhaustion, blaming everything outside themselves. They'll never realize that they had more control than they thought. But you're not most people. You see it now. You know you have a choice. And with that awareness comes responsibility. Because once you know you can change your energy, you have to decide what to do with that power. You don't need to have everything figured out right now. You just need to take the next right step. Maybe that's changing what you eat. Maybe it's putting down your phone in the morning. Maybe it's spending 10 minutes in silence instead of scrolling. Maybe it's saying no to things that drain you and yes to the things that light you up. The key is to stay awake, to stay aware, to keep choosing your energy on purpose. Because when you do that, you're no longer just reacting to life. You're shaping it. You're building something real, something strong, something true. And the more you do this, the more the world around you changes. People treat you differently. New paths open up. Life starts to feel lighter, clearer, more meaningful. This isn't a fantasy. It's the natural result of living in alignment with your own power. This is just the beginning. There's so much more to learn, so much more to explore. But you've already taken the most important step. You've woken up. And now, the path is in your hands.